And it's like, if you know who you are and you know what you want, you don't have to do that. You just date one person at a time. Like, you already know that's not going to be for you, kind of thing. You don't have to date 3 people to compare who's the best.
Well, I mean,
for you.
I don't think it's comparison, but if you, I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about, because if you're talking to 3 different people, then what happens if you kind of like, you figure out one of them that you were liking at first, turns out you don't like her so much, but then you weren't talking to the other one, so you lost the opportunity with the other one because she found somebody else. So it's best to keep them.
No,
yeah.
that's a terrible idea.
No, I think no. You got to keep your options open.
You're doing somebody a disservice, because then you're dragging them on.
Well, you don't know that necessarily. I mean, you might end up liking the first one, then you just tell the second one.
I think you know, if you know yourself and you know what you're looking for, you know within the first date whether you want to continue or not. People continue because they don't want to be alone.
Oh.
And they continue dating multiple people because they don't want to be alone. And after being on dating apps for so long, you start getting confused, because you have to play certain games. You have to act a certain way. You have to do certain things. You can't act desperate and text right away, because the other person is going to think you're desperate and you don't have anything going on in your life. No. How about, my phone is in my hand all the fucking time, so that's why I'm responding, you asshole.
I think that's overthinking it.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But a lot of people do it because of these fucking dating apps. That's, yeah. Do you want to get into it? I can get into it.
I mean, what's your take on that? Like,
are you recording?
Yes, I am, of course. You know, okay. I am. Yeah. So like, what's your take on, like, if a guy texted you, how long? Like, if he texts you right away, are you like thinking, okay, oh God, this guy's going to be one of these people that stalks me. He's going to be needy. He's going to be blowing me up all the time. Or what's your take on you texting?
There's a couple of different things, right? So, like, people have work, people have lives. Like, now, even with the baby, like, I can text you right back. Like, you've noticed, like, how we text, right? So I'd love that same energy if I'm dating someone. Now, are there moments where me and you have been texting and I haven't responded in hours because the baby has needed to, like, be fed and go to sleep and everything else? Yeah, but I'll explain that later.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll apologize. Sorry, I had to do something. But, like, just completely going, not ghost on the text message, but, like, being in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden, like, you're taking 2 hours with no explanation, without even, like, just having the decency to say, sorry, something came up or anything. I think that's rude. You're obviously entertaining other people, and that's why you're not responding. And the conversation with me or the conversation with you is boring you or not as interesting, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
So it's like, that's when I feel like you're entering the dragging a person on if you're not really interested, because your attention is on somebody else. And if that attention on that somebody else is either not enough for that person, or there's something that it's not clicking, why the hell are you continuing if you know what you like? If you know what you want, why are you allowing somebody to treat you that way if it hasn't clicked yet? Right? Why do you have to continuously try to keep her attention if she is not feeding into you like you deserve or you need to be?
I think it's just different with men. I just think men need to have more, because it's harder for us to get matches. Because in this area, it's like 10 guys per every one woman. Now,
statistically speaking, correct.
yeah.
Because unfortunately, all the men that I meet have like 10 women on the roster.
Wait, what men? You said you weren't dating.
The men
what
I
happened?
meet.
The men you meet?
I meet.
Oh, now I don't have like 10 on the roster. No. But I will say right now, there's.
I'm just making that number up. I don't know.
They
might not have anybody. They might just suck. So who knows?
I'm
just making myself feel better or worse.
Oh my God,
however you.
As of late, I'm telling you, I've just wanted to take my dating apps and just delete them and just be done with them because
that's why I deleted
it's
them.
just like all disappointment after disappointment.
Well, and so so it's funny that you mentioned that because that's it's all right. This is hilarious because we're gonna talk about documentaries today on Netflix, but we're getting onto this dating thing. But it's interesting you say that, and I think that's why I deleted them as well because as an introvert, it takes a lot of effort for me to start a conversation with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a lot of effort for me to speak. And I never had like an inbox full of people or whatever. Like I was very selective, even starting conversations. But maybe I would talk to like 5 people before I would even pick one to go on a date with or something like that on the dating app. But I was very like straight to the point. I don't like wasting time, and I know what I'm looking for. And if you're not, as a man, if you're not courting me, I like to be courted. I'm still traditional. So if you're not courting me and paying attention to me like I want to be paid attention to, or like I want to be chosen. And being chosen does not mean that it's going to be me and 5 other girls and now I have to fight for your attention.
So not like The Bachelor?
Because you think that I have 5 other men that you're fighting for attention for, and it's not the case.
But
because
what if you were one of 3 women?
It doesn't matter. I need to be chosen. I need to be one.
You're going to be chosen.
I need to be the only option. You don't need to date 2 other people if you know you want me.
No, I mean, that's true.
If you know that I'm the one, you don't need to date 2 other people until I decide or until we decide to make it official. That's just copping out. That's being a coward.
All right. So what do you think about this then?
And that's not knowing what you want. You're just going to go with whatever falls in your lap.
So,
because if I don't fall in your lap and I choose to walk away, now option 2 and 3 become 1 and 2. What the hell does that mean for them, for those women?
Well, like, my point is, what I'm trying to say is...
Do you understand what I'm...
I understand. So, like, from my perspective, I'm talking about, okay, first you meet them, you match them, you text them, okay? You text them for a day, couple of days, and then, it all goes good. You talk to them on the phone for a couple hours, sometimes 3 hours, and you're doing this to, like,
get to know
2 or 3 different people. Okay, so you're learning 2 or 3 different people. Now you meet them. Okay, you meet them one at a time. You get a chance to learn a little bit more about them. Okay, I don't like this about her.
Boom, done, out of the way.
And like, for example,
with me is 1 date and done.
Yeah.
Like
no, I gave this one too.
And where did it go?
I gave this one too. No, I have my reasons, so I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that. But
yeah, let's not.
I bought her lunch once. She didn't say thank you. Okay. So our second date was supposed to be going to a movie, but I came up at last minute, the hurricane, and I was taking some supplies out west. So I asked her if she wanted to go shopping with me to help get all this stuff.
Yeah.
She did.
Okay.
She came out with me. And
this is recent.
Yeah, this was like recent.
You didn't tell me about her.
It was like really recent, like last week. And after we went shopping, I bought her dinner again.
Okay.
She didn't say thank you again.
That's very cute, actually.
All she had to do was say thank you.
Yeah.
That told me a lot about her. So I was like, okay.
I think so.
And I was like, you know what? Do
you think she's going to listen to this?
I don't know. What's the worst she can do? Delete my number.
You should have said thank you. You can still listen to us, though, but you should have said thank you.
She's a nice girl. She's got a lot going on, but it just clicked with me. I was like, you know what? There's just no way. Yeah. And then sometimes you just got to meet people. Like, you can have a great rapport back and forth on the telephone, and then you got to meet them. And... like,
yeah,
then you find out for sure.
That was my issue too when I did the dating apps, because I legit met some great guys out there, connect intellectually, text and everything else, and then I would meet them in person, and it's just the chemistry just wasn't there in person. I don't know if it was me or it was just like one reason or another. Just the chemistry wasn't there in person.
Yeah,
I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel it.
Yeah, and you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And you know. So it's like, and I tell everyone, 1 date is enough for me to know whether I want to continue getting to know you or I want to stop everything.
And what sucks is, that when they really like you, then it makes you harder. It makes it harder on you to be like, oh God, how am I going to friend zone this person?
I don't friend zone people.
You just block. You just go away.
I don't block. No, I just have a friendly conversation, and I'm like, good luck to you. You're going to find somebody else
Well,
that you deserve, because obviously I'm not it.
But some of these people, you kind of want to keep around just for friends. It's like good networking.
I'm an introvert. I have enough friends. 3 friends
circle
is all I need.
But what I've learned is the bigger your network, the more.
Now, network is different.
Yeah. So, some people are just good to be in your network because they bring certain things to the table, like followers. And, for example, me raising money to, for funds out west. If I didn't network with all these people, and actually a couple of people that donated were former Tinder dates that are now my friends on Facebook.
Cute. Okay.
So it's like, you win.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I don't block anybody. Like I said, I don't block anybody. A lot of them were still following me on Instagram and Snapchat and stuff. Like, and I say were because I just went in and cleared out a lot of stuff. But because I do a purge every 6 months. So I just clear off a lot of stuff. And Snapchat, I hadn't done one in like 2 or 3 years. So I was like, yeah, let's just clean this up. I bet that was
brutal. How long did that take? A couple hours?
No. Believe it or not, Snapchat is my smallest social media. So I only have like maybe 20 friends on there. So it took like 30 minutes. Fine. I was like, why is he still on here? Different.
I got a bunch of randos up there.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't even know who half of them are.
Yeah, I keep my Snapchat circle very, very, very small. Instagram and Facebook is completely different, but Snapchat is very, very small.
Now, I am talking to one right now. I think she's older than me, too, which is kind of, I don't really usually date older women. But
I feel like you've started to like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't get the younger ones anymore. Hang my hat up and just put on a fedora now and get me a walker and just, hey, what's up, girls? Let's go.
Mike, you're not that old.
Not yet. Good Lord. I feel like it sometimes. The other day, I couldn't get out of bed.
Well,
I had to roll.
I'm still recovering from Saturday night. So
what happened Saturday night?
I went to Post Malone concert.
Oh, that's right. I saw a bunch of pictures on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I forgot to even introduce the show. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey!
I'm Mike.
I'm Paila.
And this is another episode of Real Time.
With Mike and Paila.
Like 10 minutes in. 12.
So we got caught up talking about dating.
Of course, because that's the only good thing to really talk about. I enjoy talking about it.
Right. And everybody has painful stories.
Yeah. I just recently started dating. Well, not recently, like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. This is October.
Did you find these ones with the Luxy app?
No. Dating apps like Bumble and Tinder. Well, let me tell you who I met. Okay. I'll have to pull her up and
pull them up.
I mean, the people you meet on Luxy, it's amazing.
And today, by the way, we were supposed to talk about Netflix shows and
we still
documentaries about famous people. About famous people.
Well, I'm not going to say her last name because once I say what she does, you can just Google her and it'll pop up.
Google her.
But so Luxy, it tends to match you with people all around the world, right? Mm-hmm. So I met a girl in is it Zimbabwe?
Oh, sure.
Or Zambia? I think it's Zambia. Okay, she's Miss Zambia, right?
Oh.
And she is actually training to be in the Miss Universe pageant. I think.
Okay.
And she's 28. Her name's Grace. Well, her name is, I'll go ahead and say Grace Mawilla.
Okay.
So, when you match with somebody like that, you're like, this is bullshit. Okay.
Get her the papers, Michael.
I need to see if this is a real account. So
I'm just kidding.
I actually.
You would think that Luxy confirmed that though.
Yeah.
Because they do go through a lot of confirmation and stuff like that.
Well, it was really her. Like I called her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we FaceTimed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I should have screenshot some so I could have some pictures. But we talked FaceTime probably 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
She was working. She owns a store.
Okay.
And she owns a store and she's a cabbage farmer. And she was telling me all these stories about like how how their lack of water killed her crops and all this. And
that's
she showed me several pictures of her, and it was definitely her. It was her. It was her in pictures of being in pageants. It was pictures of her growing cabbages. So I'm like,
I love
damn,
that.
maybe I should take a trip to Africa.
Let's do it. I'll go with you.
You'll go with me?
Yeah.
I'll see if she's got some friends.
Maybe I'll find me an African prince.
We'll see what Mr. Zambia looks like.
Now, you want to share a man?
No. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying, like, now you want to share a man as a woman? Get you an African man, because...
Share a man as a woman? I don't even know what you're talking about right there.
Like,
you're
they have a lot of women.
Oh, so you mean the ratio is better for men over there?
I don't know about a ratio. It's just the culture.
Oh, better men? Treat you better? What?
No, it's more traditional. It's a traditional
patriarchy, or
that word.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say the other version of it.
Well,
just kidding. But yeah, that word. The culture is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well, if
no more Africans for me. I dated one for 4 years.
Well, if they're anything like Grace, because Grace just finished second place in a marathon Saturday, and she's super athletic, and you know, meet you a athletic marathon running African man over there with a schlong about 10 inches long.
A what?
Putting all that.
A schlong. What's a schlong?
You don't, come on, you know what that is.
Is that slang for
it's a slang
wiener?
for a wiener? Yeah.
A wiener?
A wiener. I think schlong sounds so much better than wiener. Can you imagine the stamina getting pounded by something like that?
No,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
too big. There's too big. That's for sure. And also, sir, I dated an African for 4 years.
Don't say it was a myth.
Huh?
No, I thought
about
you were going to talk
schlong?
about his schlong.
I am not speaking about his schlong, if that's what you want me to do. No, but I did. Yeah, he was from Sierra Leone for 4 years. And then my daughter's father is Moroccan by origin.
I've been to Morocco. And I actually met a girl over there on Lexi.
Nice.
Yeah, and we had a date, actually.
All the signs are pointing towards Africa for you.
It's just pointing out of the United States. It's pointing out of the United States.
I think you should do it.
I had a conversation.
I think you should do it.
I
have a friend of mine that only dates foreign women.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
he's
Is he balling? Is he flying to these places?
No, he's straight up American. You know what? He's been in Raleigh forever, but like I don't know even if he's from here or Durham, something like that. But yeah, after him dating his last girlfriend that was Italian, he's like I'm never going again to American women. He's like only foreign from now on. I'm like, go ahead.
Oh.
Do you, boo? You?
I actually had an idea for a show, like my Luxie adventures. Just see if I can just talk to all these girls on Luxie, and then have like Zoom conversations with them and record it and make a podcast out of it.
Oh my God, can you?
Yeah, I mean, all I got to do is get their consent. Like Grace already said she'd be on the podcast.
Can I judge it?
Judge it? What are you judging?
Judge the conversation.
Oh. Well, we'd have to maybe talk about dating internationally.
You would have to date them. You can't. You would have to do Zoom dates, like a reality show.
That'd be kind of. Could you do
like
that?
A reality
though?
show?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? Could you do that?
Well, then you get into like some really personal talk that you don't want to put on video.
You edit it out of the video, Michael.
No, that's too much work.
Oh my God.
I don't even like editing our shit anymore, which I really don't. I really don't.
Well,
that's a good idea.
I mean, I'm just saying, reality show.
Yeah.
Maybe after you do a few episodes, it'll pick up. It's kind of like a 90 Day Fiance, right? But it's like it's like dating on Luxie.
You got to get the women on board, though, because once they find out that they're like contestants,
if
they might get pissed.
Well, they don't have to be contestants. That's just like you're dating.
Yeah.
I don't know, because how much airtime, like, is their story going to be told? Because I don't know that we care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how exciting people are going to be listening to Grace talk about raising cabbages.
Let's table that and brainstorm some more offline.
We'll table that. All right. Well, let's get on to what we were going to talk about anyway.
Let's do it.
I love watching Netflix.
Yes. Well, I love watching documentaries.
Yeah, documentaries are the shit.
Yeah.
And I just love it when they're like more than 4 episodes because they get you just, you're engulfed into
I know
them.
the limited series ones. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah, I love them. So what's one that you've watched recently?
So I watched Child Star. That was actually in Hulu, I want to say. The one Demi Lovato did.
Oh, she's like batshit crazy right now, isn't she?
She's not. No, not right now. She's better.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's
she was
better.
going through
She's yeah. She
She ain't part of the whole Diddy thing, is she?
No, she's not part of the Diddy
Okay,
thing. She's
okay.
part of Hollywood Child Star and like that old culture and the way children used to be treated and how kind of Nickelodeon and Disney put children out there and made them work, and like how they would take them straight from like these TV shows and they would seize the moment, right? And so if you were hot, like they were like putting albums out there, and they would really exploit these kids to make money off of them. Like at one point she was talking about how like she had not taken a day off, and it was like frowned upon if she ever wanted to have a day off, or if she wanted to be on vacation. Like she hadn't taken a day off like in 3 years. And then her and Drew Barrymore were talking about, Drew Barrymore started drinking at like 8 years old, like, you know, just going around with alcohol. She was
straight out of E.T. She was just pounding back.
Yeah, that's what she
old.
said. Yeah, like drugs and alcohol at 80 years old. Because, you know, you're around all these rock stars, these Hollywood stars at such a young age, and there was no regulation back then. And depending on your background, it really mattered whether your parents were around, and sometimes they just couldn't be because of how, engaged and all of the stuff that you had to do for work. And then they were talking, her and there was somebody else was talking about where they hid and how they hid their alcohol. So like Demi Lovato's like, yeah, I used to walk around with my coffee cup and I had straight like liquor in there. I would tell my assistant, hey, can you put some more magical juice in here? And
magical juice.
And they knew exactly what to, I think it was, she used something else, but I'm saying magical juice. But like she would walk around with her coffee cup. So nobody thought that it was alcohol, because God forbid you got caught with a Solo cup, because they knew there was alcohol in there. But if it was a coffee cup, they didn't know. So now I'm thinking about this whole Hollywood stars walking around with Starbucks in their hands. And I'm like, they're putting out their crap in there, and Starbucks is winning because everybody's like, let's go to Starbucks.
Well, if I see Demi Lovato walking around at a party with a coffee cup, I'm going to be like, okay, she ain't drinking no
Well,
damn.
no, I mean, this is like when she would go to her trailer in between takes for a movie, or she was on tour for like, she was on tour back to back for like 2 albums. So, you know, it just like the difficulty about all of that, and how I guess they put certain regulations now on children. So they can't work a certain amount of hours. They can't, you know, they have to have a certain days off and everything else. However, the new trend and the new stars out there are on TikTok and YouTube. And although Disney and Nickelodeon and all of these, you know, and Hollywood has put these regulations in place, YouTube and TikTok does not follow those rules because they're not part of like the union, right?
Okay.
So now we see these star children on TikTok and YouTube, and it's like they're famous, millions and millions of views, but who is checking on them and you know, and their parents, whether they're getting abused and exploited?
Yeah.
So it's like a whole new.
It's so easy now.
Yeah.
It's so easy because you
and
had to
who's
have.
gonna hold that parent accountable?
Yeah, because back in the day, you had to have a connection. You had to have an in. You had to have like a certain amount of talent to get you through the door, to get you in front of casting directors.
Yeah.
And just a stroke of luck. Now, all you need is your damn phone.
Yeah.
And a good idea, or just have some dummy walk up to you and then you ask you a question and you go hawk to her. Boom. Then you're a damn millionaire.
You're a hawk tour girl.
And you're all over. You're all over.
You got merchandise
TV.
and everything.
Now you've got a podcast. Like I think I heard her podcast is in the top 5 now.
Stop it.
Yeah.
She has a podcast?
Yeah, it's called Talk to Her.
Oh.
Talk to
Well,
Her.
that's clever.
Yeah, it kind of is. I ain't gonna hate on her. She actually seems like she's.
It's a good spin.
I think she's actually funny, but she's country funny. If you've ever heard her talk, she sounds like she'd be from Eastern North Carolina.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, and she's not drop dead gorgeous, but she's cute. You know, she's kind of like
she's
girl next door.
She's acceptable for both genders, so she's gonna make it far in life.
Yeah. You mean likable? She's likable by both. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about here?
Like,
is this like a sexual thing? Or
No. Like, I mean, like, accepted. So, like, women can't feel necessarily threatened by her because she's not gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then men don't necessarily have to feel intimidated or, like, uncomfortable around her because she is not drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, it's, like, you could take her out and you don't have to worry about, like, all the guys, like, breaking their necks or sweating on her. I mean, yeah, they'll look at her and go, she's cute, but yeah, she's not like
It takes a strong man to date the pretty ones, I'm just saying.
She's medium ugly.
But she got millions, though, so that makes her medium pretty.
It's yeah, right. That bumps her up. We're gonna give her medium pretty. So I rode to Asheville yesterday with somebody. I rode shotgun.
Yeah.
And she had her cell phone sitting up on the cell phone holder, and her, you know what her background wallpaper was? It was that fucking guy from The Bear.
Oh.
And he had the.
What's his name?
It's like three names. Something
Is
Lee.
it Jeremy?
Jeremy Lee Allen or.
He's played in Shameless too, by the way.
Yeah. But it was a shirtless picture of him, and he had the V to the P showing. And I was like, yep, he's medium ugly. I was like.
What'd she say? Did she know about it?
No, she didn't know about that.
What?
But he didn't look like he was medium ugly in that one. Even I was like, okay, that dude's. Yeah,
Jeremy Allen White.
Jeremy Allen White. Yeah.
That's a strong name, though.
He looks like a Jeremy.
He looks like a Jeremy Allen.
He had the V to the P going. I haven't had one of those since I was 21.
What's the V to the P? The one over there?
Yeah, it's like the side V. Yeah.
The one over there.
My V's.
You can't take me anywhere. I forget there's cameras sometimes. They're there, the V.
Yeah, my
yeah,
V,
I'm trying to get that
swollen.
back. I'm trying to get that back.
Okay, let me. I'll race you to it. Let's see who can go.
Yeah.
You'll get it way before me. Though.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you will.
I keep getting stuck at certain like weights, and it takes me forever to like get rid of like another 10 pounds. Like I'm like just stuck right now.
I am too. Usually it's pretty easy for me. Like all I got to do
this
is
age, man. This aging thing, man. This is not cute. I don't know who told us that we're cute.
I don't
but
know.
this aging thing, I'm just not digging it.
Well, you know,
I'm just not digging it.
Like when you're past 40, you just judge yourself so much harsher than you did when you were younger.
I think I'm being a little bit more kinder to myself because of that reason, because I'm so super self-critical. And like after having a child, I'm just kind of like, listen, you gave life. You need to chill out.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while. Like, I mean, I'm not sleeping right. My hormones are still all over the place. Like, you know, that middle line that you get when you're pregnant, it's still not gone. So obviously I'm still healing. Yeah. Like my body is still, you know, I mean, she's not even one yet. So. But then I see these girls that are like back to what they were after like 3 months. And I'm like, fuck you.
But how much help do they have? Like, are they got money? They got trainers? They got time?
I don't know.
I mean, like it's
I
with
don't know
me.
The answer to all of those questions.
It's like my V2.
Sometimes it's genetics, and when you're younger too, I think you kind of snap back a little bit easier. I think when you have kids in your 20s, I mean, I could snap back in my 20s, even if I gain like 5 to 10 pounds. I snap back in a month. It took me a month to snap back. So like, you know, your body's just fresher. I mean,
it's just harder to work out too.
Yeah.
I don't like working out anymore like I used to. Like, I got all this gym equipment in here, and I haven't used it in 2 weeks.
For the first time today, I did not like working out.
So
I felt that.
So
I
you
love,
actually
like,
worked
I
out.
love working. I did, but I didn't
Okay.
do the full workout. I didn't finish. Which made me mad, but such is life. But yeah, today I just literally I was doing an ab workout and I was like, can I just snap my fingers
And just be home. All right.
and just
be
be
done
in
with
shape
it?
already, like
Yeah.
you know.
Well, you can get one of those
like
tens.
back in the day.
Get you a tens unit. You know what that is, right? It's got the electrodes. You hook up to your abs, and
Yeah.
then you just shock yourself, and it's like doing 1,000
Yeah.
sit-ups.
I'm
So
just
they
gonna
say-
pay somebody to do that cryo treatment.
Oh, I know somebody that can hook you up with that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it
Send
ain't.
me
You gotta
the
you gotta pay
digits.
for it.
Well, I mean, obviously, but hook me up with it.
Yeah, I go to Restore Hyper Wellness in Cary. I was just there today actually, and they actually have a cryo chamber, and they have the little handheld
sculptor.
one. Yeah, so they can do that to you. And I'm actually
Let me find a rich husband first.
you can go now and get $10 treatments.
Oh,
Yeah, and I can recommend you too, and then
Stop.
actually hook me up some.
really?
Yeah. So
$10 treatment
I'm actually going to
for my tummy?
Yeah.
Get out.
No, I'm serious.
Okay, let me find
Yeah.
out.
I'll text my contact right after the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to have her on my show, actually. We're going to talk
Okay.
about cryotherapy.
Can I be
Yeah.
here? Because I
Actually,
have all the questions.
I'll have her on this show. That way she can just
Please, because I have.
sit her right over here.
Oh
and
my God, please, because I have
Yeah.
all the questions.
all the questions. She got all the answers.
questions.
I'll just sit here and I get to produce that night. I'll just click
Yeah,
camera views.
that's fine with
You know?
me.
And she actually
I'll
does
just
like
take over.
she does retreats to Costa Rica, and
Oh,
she
man.
does breathing classes. I'm actually going to take one on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do it before she's on the show because I want to see how it is. I want to be able to talk about it.
I want to learn more about breathing classes because I've
Yeah.
heard a lot about and what was it? Some football team just hired a breathing coach. I think it was NC State.
I
They
wish
just-
the Panthers would hire a hold your breath until you die coach. Nothing, never mind.
Okay. Back to the breathing coach. What just happened?
Panthers suck.
What
There you
in the
go.
world has happened? I mean, they haven't been good in a while.
They were good at one time. Now
Okay, one
now they're
time.
the laughing stock of the NFL. But I don't care. I haven't watched the game.
I
just
don't
see
know.
the scores.
The Commanders were the laughing stock for a while.
The Redskins.
Well,
Yes,
that was the old name.
they should come back.
It should. It's such a better name than the Commanders, but
And
we're
like,
not going to go there.
Well, the Native Americans. I don't know if this is true. I probably need to Snopes it, but they're pissed because that's actually a real Indian chief that was on the logo.
Oh.
And they are upset that it's taken away from them. You know, they thought about it as notoriety, giving respect to the Native Americans. And that
Yeah,
tribe.
I didn't. I thought when they were changing their name, I don't think it derived, like it didn't come from them.
Yeah, and
to
why
be
not?
changed.
If you're going to change it from the Redskins to the Commanders, why not change it to something else that has to do with
Commanders.
Native Americans?
The Commanders.
I mean,
Who
the
was in that
Washington
room?
Sioux or
Who was in that room brainstorming and somebody said the Commanders and they're like, oh, that sounds amazing.
bruh.
You
know
get a
what?
raise.
They just threw it in on that one.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
they
were-
just picked names out of a hat and they're like, oh, well, we picked the Commanders. This is what's going to be.
Nobody could agree, and they just went with the most generic thing they could find and
It's
just threw it on the table.
terrible. All the money
But-
that they have, I swear to God.
Yeah. All
But
right.
all right, what's the next?
Well, we haven't even talked about the first one.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
Did
I
we
hadn't
finish
watched-
talking? No.
I hadn't seen the Child Star one.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
did we go from that one? I don't
well,
know. Anyway, sorry.
I watched the Monster, the Eric and Lyle Menendez.
Oh yeah.
documentary. Well, that's actually not the documentary. It was a show. You know, they actors and all that stuff playing.
Yeah.
So
It was
yeah,
a limited series.
did you watch it?
Yes. It was a
Okay.
limited series.
This show makes you. It's like you're on a roller coaster ride, right? Because you actually feel for him at
Yeah.
one point,
Uh huh.
but then by the last episode, you're like, these fucking kids are evil.
Uh huh.
They're like done.
Uh-huh.
They did this.
Yeah.
But they bring you in with the sexual assault and they make you feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, maybe
Yeah.
the parents did deserve it, but they didn't deserve to get shot up like that. But I guess they shot them up like that to make it look like a mob hit. But just think how evil you got to be to go in there and shoot your parents.
So
like
there's
that. Oof.
is a catch-22, right? Because with so much so the child star, so everything that we're going to talk about really goes into the psychology of the people, and really that's why I love documentaries, because it really like puts me in their world, and like I start understanding a little bit better, not just as an outsider. So even with the child star one, I can understand how when your childhood gets taken away, you try to find any other way to kind of be in this world, right, outside of like the work and feeling obligated to do, and feeling under pressure at such a young age to perform and even provide for your family, essentially, right? So then you go into drugs and alcohol and all of that good stuff. And then for the Mendez brothers, so there's a couple of different things. We spoke about affluenza, and we also spoke about like the abuse, right? So affluenza, like last episode, and then
you gotta refresh my memory on that affluenza thing.
So I actually looked it up. It was about a different case, but it's essentially whenever you're so rich and everything has been given to you that you sort of lose sense of reality and consequences of like what happens when real shit happens.
Like, do you really think the Mendez brothers talked to their parents like they did in that show? Like straight yelling at them, disrespectful? Or do you believe that they're in the middle of a tennis match and Eric misses a point and the dad comes out and starts screaming at him like did in the movie? In the show?
I think that was a little too much. That might have been exaggerated.
Little
I don't
too much
think
Hollywood?
I think that was a little too Hollywood. I don't think that he might have gone that far. Maybe his reaction, they saw it and they knew what that meant. So maybe that's kind of what was portrayed is how they saw his reaction versus, it is Hollywood, right? It was produced.
Well, they're telling their side of the story. It's like they were telling two different sides of the story during the show.
Yeah.
And you didn't know like when they would transition. Like,
yeah,
you would think there's enough witnesses at that tennis match to have seen him, the dad come down from the stands.
Maybe they did see it happen. Maybe he did do it.
Yeah.
For them to have portrayed him like that, because there's got to be some truth to it.
Got to be. But here's my thing, though. Like, I can't remember which one is who. Like, the last one that was getting molested, was that Eric?
Yes.
Yeah. Lyle was the asshole. He was the older asshole. And Eric, he was the younger one.
Youngest.
But he was like a freshman in college, and his dad was still molesting him. First off, he was like a star athlete in tennis. You're going to be 17 years old or however old he was and let your dad still molest you? I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Why? He started when he was 6 or 7.
You can fight. You could fight your dad.
You don't know any better. That's how you grew up.
Oh, I just.
You have been, like, you can't imagine, right? You can't imagine because it hasn't happened to you. But, like, when you start getting... so that's what I'm saying, get into like the mental illness of it all and the mental abuse that they suffered since such a young age. And then Lyle's being the older one that didn't protect Eric, and that same thing happened to him. Something happens to you where you kind of start detaching from reality because you don't want that to be your reality. So it's almost like your real life seems like imagination. And then you start creating your own truth. So I feel like so in a sense, I do also believe that some of the things that happened to them or that the parents did might have not been that bad, but because they got abused, that it seemed like the end of the world. Like it was that bad, Yeah.
My take is I don't think they were, maybe when they were younger, but I don't think they were sexually abused like the show led on. Because there was enough witnesses that at the end of the show during the trial that vouched for the character of the parents. And like the one guy, I think he was the captain of that boat they were on. He said when he found out that the parents were killed, he was like, it was the boys, Because them kids,
Yeah.
they just wreaked evil, and they went on that spending spree when they was it
No,
the
and
week
that's
after.
yeah. So there was a lot of weird things, and that's when kind of like the influenza kind of kicks in. I'm like, you're really not real, because also I also believe that, because remember how when the lawyers were talking to them, they were telling them, like, this is serious. You need to start taking this seriously. And Lyles was still like in La La Land making up stuff in his head, like, oh, they're not gonna get us. They don't have any evidence or whatever. And the lawyers are like, this is serious. You are getting accused of killing your parents. And like, it just didn't even connect with them. It didn't even, it was, they had no idea like this was a real thing.
Yeah, it was like it didn't kick in until after they were in jail for a few couple of months.
And Eric got him a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, shower scene.
Hey.
Dude, come on, man, that was shocking. I mean, I can't. Did they actually hook up, the black guy and Eric?
Well, the sources say they did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He liked it. Maybe there is some truth to the abuse. Maybe that turned him into liking men. I
don't think it turned him into liking men. I think Eric was just gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that being abused mattered.
You think that they hired that guy because he had a big penis?
Who?
The guy that played Eric. You didn't see that thing in the shower scene?
Michael, why are you?
Dude, they put it right there in front
I am
of
not
you.
talking about wieners.
Schlongs.
I am not. We are not talking about wieners.
Yeah, I mean, I was just shocked. I was like, good Lord. I
have to set an example for
right.
my daughter. We do not air our laundry or talk about wieners in public.
Unless your daughter listens to this episode like 8-9 years from now. She'll never know.
Might.
She'll never know.
Who knows? I might be like, back in my day, me and Uncle Mike, we used to have a show.
And we saw this guy named Eric Mendez in the shower, and his thing was flaccid at 8 inches. Good God. It was crazy.
I know you did
wild.
it. It was soft. How did you even measure it through the TV?
I just could gaze. I was gazing. I was schlong gazing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't go in inches. Like, I didn't. Yeah. I don't know what inches look like.
Oh. Centimeters. Little tenths.
No, I just forgot what it looks. What
you just forgot what one looks like in general.
Exactly.
You're like you had one like 9 months ago.
9 months.
Well, that's how old Dita is.
No.
Oh, 10 months.
She's almost 1 year, and it took 9 months in my belly. So you do the math.
Oh, so it's been long. Nah.
It's been a long time.
Well, there's some websites out there. I even know a good store.
Oh,
Adam and Eve. And you know what? I know somebody does parties. I'll have them invite you to.
We're talking about documentaries, not my sex life. Thank you. Don't make me blush over here. I'm shy. I don't talk about personal stuff.
You're going to be the same color as your backdrop.
I know, seriously. All of a sudden, camouflage.
All right, so
wavelength.
So actually, I think tonight Netflix is starting a documentary on the Mendez Brothers. So now all these questions we have, we actually can get be answered.
Well, you know who's trying to get them out of jail because they were abused and she thinks they're innocent.
Who?
Kim Kardashian.
Really?
Yeah, she wants to follow in her dad's footsteps.
But they admitted to slaughtering their parents. You can't you can't erase that. They did that shit.
But they also got convicted at a time where we didn't know what abuse did to children and how it altered their brain and process of thinking. And they also got convicted during a time where O.J. Simpson, which he was in the show, got away for a technicality.
And knowing right well, he just murdered the hell out of them too.
Correct.
Ron Goldman and what's her name? Yeah.
And they had all the facts in the world towards that man, and he still got away. How long was the chase for?
Was it really even a chase? He wasn't even speeding. He was going like 50.
But he wasn't stopping.
He was just, the juice was loose. That's what isn't that where that came from? He just
kept going until he ran out of gas. The cops are like, we're not going to just cause an accident. We're just going to let you run out of gas, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's what usually cops do anyways.
Rest in peace, Juice. You know what? It would have been nice, though, on his deathbed if he'd have just been like, I killed that bitch.
I mean,
Or,
I'm
you know.
sorry. He put out a book. What if I did it?
What? Yeah. What
The
if-
title of the book was "What If I Did It." No, we know you did it.
Probably.
And it
but
was
it's a good
in
read.
it was in detail. Like, I haven't read it. However, the cliff notes that I read, I'm not investing in his legacy. I'm not buying that book.
It might go to. Oh no! Aren't the Goldmans trying to take proceeds from it or something? Maybe. I don't know.
Out of that book,
Yeah.
they're pissed to put that out. What do you mean?
I thought
that
they were
was like
suing
a
his
slap in
estate.
face. I'm
Like,
sure they did. I don't
yeah.
care. I'm not investing in these rich people that don't know what reality is.
Oh, don't get me started on that shit.
Correct. So, but it, like, in detail, it told how he did it and like why he did it and everything else.
Mhm.
Like, the book lays it out there for you.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's not a confession, but I mean, to me, it points like a confession.
Yeah, and he's making gain on something that's terrible.
On a murder that he committed.
Yeah, it's kind of a slap in the face, and he's laughing at
Correct.
everybody. He's just
Yes.
laughing, going, ha ha ha,
Yes.
got you.
Yes.
Fucking Nordberg.
And he still
love it.
ended up in jail.
Yeah, I still love that. You ever seen that scene in Smoking Gun? Naked Gun.
Mm-mm.
Never seen Naked Gun?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Damn. Yeah, he's got a death scene where he dies, and it takes him forever to die.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
gets,
yeah, yeah.
like,
I've seen it.
shot
I've seen it. I've
and
seen
gets
it. You've shown
burned.
it. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
shown
I showed
me
it
that.
to you,
Yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
I?
You did. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Because we probably talked about this
Yeah,
several
you
times.
did. Yeah, we
Okay.
have. But we brought it up because of the Mendez Brothers.
Yeah. So anyway, Mendez Brothers show. What'd you think? Worthy of another
Are we
watch?
rating them? Are we rating them?
Yeah, we gotta rate it.
Oh, but you haven't watched Child Star, so how are we gonna rate it?
I want to have to watch it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll rate it.
Well, we watched the Menendez Monster. We watched that,
we did.
and I think we've both watched the next one we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Menendez Brothers. I'll give it. What was it, like 9 episodes? I think.
Yeah, I believe it was.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, about the same.
I was a little confused from
And
time to time.
It brought back music I hadn't heard in a long time, and I am totally into Milli Vanilli again. Girl, I'm gonna miss you. It's a tragedy for me to see. I cannot get that song out of my head. Like,
I
what?
can't get those outfits out of my head.
When they actually played that song at the funeral.
Oh,
Yeah, I
didn't
thought
know
they were
that.
just tripping. I thought that was just a song. No, they
Oh,
played
they
that
actually
song at the
played it at the
funeral. Yeah,
funeral.
and
I
everybody's
thought
just
it was
like
just
sitting there.
I thought it was just the documentary, but they actually played it. See, like, they did so much effed up things afterwards. Like, it's like it was a comedy for them. I don't understand.
Well, that song is about a lost love, a girl that broke up with you. It's not about your dead mother.
Mother, right? But that's what I'm
It's
saying.
like terribly out of context.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is all Lyle's doing, and Lyle's was just. I think Lyle's was just apeshit crazy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, both brothers, they definitely had two different personalities. Like, Lyle was aggressive, mean, angry all the time.
All the time. Mm-hmm.
Kyle was more quiet, but I
Eric?
think he was more. Oh, Eric, he was
Who
more.
is Kyle?
I don't know. I just made up a name. He's in South Park. Lord have mercy. But anyway, yeah. So Eric, he was more quiet, but I think he was more evil. I think he was more
Eric?
demented. Yeah.
No, I think Eric was suicidal. I think
Well,
Eric
he's the
was
one that
suicidal.
caved and ratted
Yeah,
on
I
him.
think Eric was suicidal.
But at the end, though, he was like the one that came up with the plan. Was like
because he was
evil.
more calculating. He was more cool, calm, and collected. But I think he was like more suicidal towards what happened and kind of more so realizing like, oh, we did this.
Yeah.
Versus to Lyle's was just apeshit crazy. He just didn't care.
No.
He had completely lost control over everything.
And
then did you believe that Spin, that they actually were doing stuff?
together?
Like, yeah.
They were
At one point when they were having their 700,000 shopping spree and partying spree.
They were kissing.
At that party.
There was a kiss scene.
Yeah, because there was kind of like a spin-off that, they had something. They had a romantic relationship.
Well, there is a lot of articles on the internet about Kyle Kyle
Who is
again.
Kyle?
I don't know. I keep wanting to put Eric and Lyle together, and somehow I'm
it's
making Kyle. Yeah, so
That makes sense.
like Eric and Lyle, we gave interviews about the show. I guess they got to see it, and they were like, of course, they're going to say that there's a lot of things in there that
Of
are,
course.
not true.
I mean, I would
about
too.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably deny the whole thing.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, if you see him now, one of them's completely bald.
Yeah,
I think I've got him confused.
Probably Lyle.
Yeah, Lyle was.
Because he didn't have any hair anyways.
Yeah.
Because of the stress, I guess, that his father was putting him in or whatever condition. They never really specified what condition he had. Or did he just lose his hair,
losing
period?
his damn hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the stress,
He
I
didn't
guess.
have propecia back then, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
Who knows?
he had it stapled and just ripped it right off. That was funny. Yeah. No, I'm
was
thinking of
kinda sad.
Deadpool.
No, he didn't have it stapled. He had it taped, but he definitely got it ripped off.
He had it ripped off because the staples were still in. No, but no. The mom did in that scene.
Yeah.
And she just went up to him and just like snatched
That's
it
when
right
Eric
off.
found out that he was losing his. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Eric didn't know. They had been hiding it from him for a while.
And then the dad was like, "Oh, you poor boy, you poor boy." Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough on
Just
Monster.
sad. So much like abuse.
So much. If it's true, we don't know. Allegedly.
I mean, the way
Alleged
it was
abuse.
portrayed, like if it is true, like that's just sad.
Yeah.
All that money doesn't make you a person.
They were loaded. Like that house they lived in was like a house that several celebrities lived in.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson, I think, lived in it at one time. It was several people. It was either Michael Jackson or Prince. It was one of them two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway. All right. So what's the next one? The next one is Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
So I'm interested on your take because I really, I think you probably had to get motivated to watch this. I don't really see you watching this like on your own.
No, I love documentaries. Yeah. I'm telling you, like I'm a movie buff and I love documentaries. Movies I'm a little bit more particular, but documentaries, they just intrigue me. Like I said, because I used to watch enough wrestling to know who all of these people are. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know in detail like what was happening behind closed doors or what was happening, like some of the scandals, or I didn't know like his lawsuits or whatever else. Also, like you have to keep in mind, I moved to the U.S. in 2002. So that's when my...
That's the end of the Attitude Era. Almost.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So my late great aunt, may she rest in peace, she loved wrestling. She loved them. So she would watch Monday Night Raw. She would watch on Thursdays. Like that was her thing. Mm-hmm. And so she got me into it because me and her would just start watching it and just laugh. Like she thought it was so funny. And then we would sit there literally, and some of the questions, it was funny that some of the questions in the documentary went into this because we would sit there and we would think like, is this real? Are they for real? Like hurting each other? Like, are they for real hitting each other? So those are some questions that also in the documentary got addressed, which was very interesting to me. It was a very interesting, I mean, that man... Talk about another abused person that doesn't think that he's abusing people.
Well, if you listen to what he said, it all started with his father because his father really didn't give him the time of day.
At all.
Yeah, like when he wanted the WWF to fail when Vince kind of took it over. He didn't really support him until later on, like around WrestleMania 2 is when Vince Sr. came around and said, "I'm proud of you," or something like that. So, yeah, Vince went through some shit as a kid, and he didn't have a father.
Well, he said he was getting abused, and so he didn't think, he's like, I never would think that. And I'm like, you're abusing everybody else around you. Mm-hmm. And all these wrestlers that thought of him as a father figure.
Which was a lot. A lot of them. So.
But also they were coming from broken families. So, of course, they saw him as a father figure. And it's kind of interesting to me, on the psychology side of things. I'm sorry, I'm just going into this because I've read so many different things about like abuse and stuff like that. But it's the abusers usually find broken family, like broken children, or young adults and they take them in. And I feel like that's what he did with all of the wrestlers.
Yeah, right. But hey, if you didn't perform, your ass was out of there.
That's what I'm saying. And then he was like, all of a sudden, oh, it's just business, though. It's just business. Yeah. It's just business. Like, that was his line to get away with everything else that he did.
Yeah.
Like, all the cheating, all the raping, all the, but he didn't abuse people.
Well, he fired like so many. He like Medusa. No,
he fired his own son. His own son had to leave. Yeah,
only business. Fired Wendy Richter because actually that whole Bret Hart scenario, the screw job where he rang the bell when he didn't tap out. But I didn't know he did that to Wendy Richter like 10 years prior. And so she was the victim of the first screw job. And he was like, it's only business. Only business. Yep. Only business. If you're not bringing in, views or fans or, you're not high in the charts, you're gone. Yeah, like he brought Sable. Sable sued the WWF.
I mean, listen, genius mind, okay? Genius mind. I think you have to be that cutthroat when it comes to your business to make the money that he made.
Yeah.
So I don't hold it against him. Do I have the heart to do that? No, I cannot. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm not rich and successful in business because I just don't have the heart to do that to people. I could never.
Well, a couple of things that got me were his ability to bring people back after they had fucked him over.
It was business.
It was business. Like he brought Sable back after she sued the WWF and accused him of sexual harassment.
It was a power move.
And then they made skits when she came back with Stephanie bringing that up and her just laying out on the table looking all freaking drop dead delicious. But anyway. Then he brought Hulk Hogan back.
Did your
schlong?
Did your schlong get a reaction out of that?
It would have about 10 years ago.
Oh, Lord.
But he brought Hulk Hogan back after Hulk Hogan gave him 10 years of hell in the WCW. And
this is how you know everything else is true about him because it's a power move. Imagine the power that you have, that these people are going against you. But they still need you to get a paycheck. They still need your money. Like, imagine the power and the ego boost that you get. Say you fuck me over, right? All of a sudden, you're like, I'm not doing the show with you anymore. You bring somebody else. You're not bringing in the views, right? You're like the screw job. Because, we get so many views and money from this. But, say you fuck me over. Just on that level. Just amuse me for a second. And then all of a sudden something happens to where like I start getting more views and getting famous and everything else. And now all of a sudden I'm like, you know what, Mike? I think we need to bring back Real Time with Mike and Paella.
And sure, come on, let's go.
Right? Right? Because it's only business.
It's only business.
Because it's only business.
Yeah. It makes for some good conversations. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Opie and Anthony. You remember them?
No.
Well, they were shock jocks back in like the early 2000s from New York.
Okay.
They hated each other, like off camera, but they'd get on the airwaves and have great shows. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they necessarily hated each other. They probably do now, but I think back then they were just like bitter toward each other. Yeah, because that show was all Anthony and Jim Norton after a while, and all Opie did was like make just cool sounds. Yeah. But yeah. And another thing I got from Mr. McMahon was the whole Owen Hart incident where he fell from the ceiling and died in the ring. And that big ass blood spot was in the ring. And all the wrestlers had to go in there and wrestle. I mean, I had heard, I'd never actually seen footage of the wrestlers saying we should have canceled the show. But it was like the consensus was everybody was pissed the show kept going. And,
you're literally wrestling on top of your coworker's blood
who just died. Like his blood is right there. Ago. He's dead. Like
they just took him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably just hugged him in the back and said, "Good luck with your rappel," and now he's dead.
Freak accident too, though. So sad.
Well, he said that they actually sued the manufacturer of the harness because it was faulty, and then the Hart sued the WWF. So I don't know who made out. I don't know. It really when nobody makes out because yeah.
Well, they sued them, but the it came out in court that it wasn't their fault. It wasn't.
It wasn't
just,
WWF's fault.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was the harness.
Yeah, it was
manufacturer.
dropped because of the harness. Like they didn't do anything wrong. It was just a pure accident.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it wasn't WWF's fault. I mean, you can blame them for wanting to do that stupid stunt, which they had done several times before, though.
I was gonna say, but he had done it several times and nothing had happened.
With the same harness, I wonder, or was it with a different harness?
Probably the same.
Never know.
Somebody switched it, knowing it was faulty.
Conspiracy. Put your tinfoil hat on. Is there a conspiracy against the hearts here? Yeah.
I don't think it happened.
But
Did his brother do it? Did his own brother do it?
Oh,
that would be a spinoff right there.
Ooh. Was Brett jealous? Did he see Owen's rising star coming?
Whoa, because it was about Owen. It wasn't about Brett anymore.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was an interesting documentary. I enjoyed it. It was nice because I'm a wrestling fan.
Too.
I loved wrestling from that era,
Mm-hmm.
and it was good seeing some of the interviews from those guys and the old stories they were telling.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of that shit. Like, I'll watch YouTube video after YouTube video.
And it was, I think, another interesting piece of it, too, that I kind of realized watching the documentary is his old school, like, thinking. Nowadays is like, oh my God, you have to be aware of your feelings and, work through the feelings and everything else. And his whole mentality of like, yeah, I got abused, shit happened. I got the crap beat out of me. But like, so what? Move forward. Yeah. That happened in the past. Move forward. I'm like, dude, you are heartless.
He was stone cold businessman.
Oh my God.
No emotions.
He used that as a line, but he used every bit of emotion to capture people, to make them feel guilty, to make them feel whatever.
Well, did you see there was one scene in the documentary where he's talking about the interviewer asked him, how much are you like Mr. McMahon in real life? And he goes, that's just a character. I'm nothing like him.
And everybody was like, it's just a little exaggerated, but that's him.
Everybody's like, that's him. That's him. It was like even the big stars, like the Undertaker, Stone Cold, they're like, that's him.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, nope, not at all.
Yeah, he wasn't accepting a lot of things. Yeah. The rape stuff and like even the cheating on his wife and stuff, like he wouldn't accept it. The only thing that he said was, emotionally, I did wrong.
Yeah.
And like emotionally, I did wrong by her.
Yeah, like, and if you're her, why are you still with him?
The money.
Yeah, right. So
she is the CEO of the company, CFO of the company. She runs.
She better go throw that thing out there.
She
with
runs
some
the
strange...
whole company. No, she doesn't care. She probably has some boy toys on the side too.
Yeah, she probably
just
does.
Never got caught.
She's just smarter.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is how
Women
these
are always smarter.
these people that made this documentary, how they caught lightning in a bottle, because they picked the perfect time to do these interviews, because right after they said that he didn't even complete the series of interviews because he got not indicted, but he had to resign because of those allegations.
The sexual rape allegations.
Pooping on her. There was allegations about
I think he did it all.
On her.
I think he did it all.
He's a deviant, man. I wonder what.
I think he did it all. Maybe he was practicing to like put it on the show. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right.
He's an egomaniac. Like, who is that owner of a company that legit just makes himself the star of the damn show? Like, he went from discovering stars to making himself the star, and making a whole storyline behind himself and his whole family. And got his whole family in it.
But he was one of the greatest villains in WWE history.
Apparently.
He was one of the
That's
greatest.
because he is a villain. He's a villain in real life.
So Vince McMahon is accused of sexual assault and trafficking.
And trafficking?
Yeah. And
I think...
I need to see like the whole list. I need to see like the details.
You know your buddy was BFFs with him, right?
Who? Did he?
No.
Oh, Trump?
Uh-huh.
No, did you see they had matches?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they had matches. Like Trump was actually a wrestler. Did some stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
but look at I bet you got
but...
I bet you got plenty of people that was friends with Diddy. Oh,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen those memes that are like me listening to 2000s R&B music and the stuff that I grew up with, because once the list drops, I can't listen to it anymore.
Oh my God.
One last time for the good times.
I'm lucky because I didn't listen to Diddy anyway. What's my last Diddy song?
Yeah, but I listened to all of the other artists.
So there's a meme that says Weekend at Diddy's, and it's like a play off of Weekend at Bernie's, and it's Diddy holding a dead Justin Bieber and Usher's holding the other side of him.
Stop.
Oh, so I wonder if Usher's in on this.
Oh yeah, Usher is definitely in on it. He deleted his Instagram, I think. And then Bieber is about to sing like a bird.
Ooh.
It's already, like, statements are already coming out from Justin Bieber.
Maybe those, I wonder how many of those 1,000 bottles of oil were used on him.
15 when he went and hung out with Diddy.
From what I understand.
To make music. And Usher was probably like 16 when Diddy took him under his wing.
I haven't been following it. I haven't been reading details. I haven't been looking for details.
I'm trying not to.
But it's all like little boys, right? It's not even heterosexual sex we're talking about here. It's boys. Now that's just crazy.
I told you that last time. You were like, no. I was like, yeah, it's boys.
So that means there's a lot of damn perverts in the music industry.
Yeah.
A lot. God, I'm glad I can't sing.
Yeah.
Well, if I could sing, that doesn't necessarily mean
But it's about power. It's about power and having power over these artists. Because he knew they were going to be superstars. So when you need a favor, it would be easy for me to blackmail you and say, I'll leak the freaking tape that I have fucking you in the ass.
How does that work? So let's just say a prominent celebrity comes up to Diddy. A prominent celebrity comes up to Diddy, and Diddy's like, hey, I got this little 12-year-old boy over here. He's an up-and-coming star, so why don't you make him come?
Oh, the way you put it just now.
Yeah. And then, like, he gets that on video, and then, boom, you got something hanging over. So, I just...
No, well...
It's all crazy.
I got fresh meat. Literally.
Is that how Justin Bieber was introduced to the industry?
Literally. I got some Canadian bacon.
Well, Lord have mercy.
I'm making jokes, but it's too soon and I shouldn't, because this is a sad subject. But yeah, I don't know. It's very, I mean, and this is the thing too, like my friends and I have been talking about it. In every single interview, all of the videos that are coming out, he was telling us what he was doing. Every single interview. None of us thought that. We just thought he was the funny guy. He was being funny.
He's a damn creep. He's a creep.
We just thought he was being funny. Nobody thought that this man was for real and was actually doing these things.
Well, gives us more fodder to talk about down the road, because this is just beginning.
Just disgusting.
And more is going to come out.
But watch more documentaries.
Yeah, the next show.
We need suggestions. Tell us.
So there's a movie, Rebel Ridge, on Netflix. Highly recommend it to everybody. I'm going to probably finish watching it tonight.
Rebel Ridge?
Rebel Ridge. Yeah, it sort of reminds me of Rambo a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but I won't spoil it. It's great. Like, I got out the shower and was walking by the TV, and it happened to be on, and I just stood there in my towel for like 15 minutes watching it. Couldn't move. Like, the first 15 minutes is so good. I was like, nice. And I'd never heard of it.
Can't remember when was the last time I did that.
Oh, what? Stand in your towel in front of TV?
Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah,
she's in the bathtub.
Mommy
She's in the bathtub while I'm taking a shower. That's like my playpen.
Oh,
I have it set up with a blanket and like toys in there. So yeah, while I'm taking a shower, like she's in there playing.
Oh, sweet. There's no water in there.
No.
Okay, good.
There's a
I
blanket.
Kind of figured there wasn't.
There's a blanket in there. No.
All right, well, let's wrap this one up.
Let's do it.
Before we get off the air, I want to come to everybody. As you know, we had the hurricane, affected a lot of people out west. I went out there twice this weekend. Took a bunch of supplies that were raised. My next trip, I'm going to go out there October 18th. If you want to donate any goods, get up with me. Send me a message. text me something if you got my contact info. If not, you can reach me on Facebook or goldbird@gmail.com.
Or put a comment on this YouTube.
Word, that's right.
Put a comment.
You got to make it to the end of this show before you even hear this. So I hope they listen to it all. Should have said this at the beginning. You
oh
know,
my
too.
God! Maybe you should cut it and throw it in the beginning.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make like a disclaimer at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little flyer deal. But yeah, we'd love to have your help. I mean, last week I raised like $5,000 in 3 days, and I've already got 2,100 raised in this next trip. So we're just trying to load up my Jeep with a bunch of shit and roll down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Asheville yesterday. Saturday I went to Marion, which is east of Asheville.
Can you even make it all the way in? Like,
yeah, I went into Asheville.
Okay.
Asheville's completely dead.
Done.
Nothing's open. There's no power anywhere. If you see a traffic light, it's on emergency power. None of the houses there have running water, electricity.
Are there still people there, or
yeah,
were they able to get?
Yeah. So we visited a house yesterday. It was a nice neighborhood. It was like a upscale neighborhood, but they're all out. Nobody's got power. They have a generator, and the reason why they have that generator going is because they have a vegetative daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, she's hooked up to like machines and yeah, so that's the only reason why they have that. So we brought them a bunch of stuff. Yeah, they got a bad situation. They have to take care of her and the woman, the vegetative girl's mother. I cannot say that word. We'll just say vegetative daughter's mother.
Some words you can't say, and some words I can't.
Yeah. Well, she's older, and then she's taking care of her mom, too, which is like 85.
Holy cow.
So she's got her hands full, so we were trying to find a way to get her a Starlink out there, because she also runs a business with CNAs, and she can't dispatch her CNAs out to
anywhere.
To anywhere, yeah. So, we did stuff like that. We went to her house. You could see, like, lots of downed trees. When you're on the interstate in Nashville, you can see chairs, furniture.
Just everywhere.
Just all in it's where they cleared the interstate out, but they pushed it all in the middle. And you're like, wow, what is a freaking random sofa doing in the middle of the interstate? It didn't fall off a truck. It came out of a house and just floated out there. So it's pretty bad. It's bad. You're looking at years before they get that back to normal. Like they have to rebuild towns and what sucks is there's a Cat 5 heading to Florida right now. Yep. Yeah.
Mother Nature is like, wait, I'm not done.
I ain't done, bitches. I'm coming back for more.
And it just moved up to a Category 5, too.
Yeah, earlier today. But I think North Carolina's going to get spared. I think they said that the East Coast, might get some rain, heavy rain. Maybe that's about it. But
that's crazy. Yeah, back home, man, like some of the beach towns, they're underwater right now because of how much rain we've gotten.
That's ridiculous.
And that's not really normal. So definitely something is happening.
Yeah. Global warming, man.
I mean, it is.
Tinfoil hat. No, I'm just joking.
That's not a tinfoil. That's a fact. But that's happening.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Donate.
I'm Mike.
I'm Payla.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.